Okay. Yeah, in the last session, we created foreign keys by using check table. We also assigned value tables in the domain level, right? So check tables are in the field level validation. We assign check table by using foreign key relationship. It ensures the data integrity, right? So it allows only valid data which is available in the check table. Okay. So for the data integrity and consistency, we assign foreign key relationships, right? So what is the rule? What are the rules to assign the foreign key relationship? The data element name should be same. It should be referring to the same type, right? And what is the other important rule to assign a foreign key?
Data.
Data element name should be same in both tables, both in check table and foreign key table. And in field should be a primary key in check table. Okay. Field should be a primary key in check table. What about the foreign key table?
May or may not.
It may be a foreign key. Sorry, it may be a primary key or non-primary key. Okay. So value tables are assigned in the domain level, right? To maintain the possible values. Okay. If we add value table to add more possible entries, you do not need to change the domain every time. Okay. You can simply add new records to the table. Okay. So how to maintain configuration data in production system? What is the tool we use to maintain data, like to
Table
create new
maintenance.
records or to change the records?
SM30.
Yeah, SM30. In short, we call it as TMG, table maintenance generator. Okay, we generate the table maintenance generator screen to maintain the data. Okay, so whenever you create a master table or configuration table, right, in your system, what you need to create immediately, along with it, you have to create a table maintenance generator. You have to create table maintenance generator screen for the table, right? Otherwise, you cannot maintain data in the table in production environment. You cannot access SC level. Okay, is everyone clear? So what is the use of table maintenance generator? It generates a screen to maintain the data in the master or configuration tables. Okay, is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Let's see uh, how the foreign key relationship is working. Yesterday we have assigned the foreign key relationship, right? ZDemo employee. First, let's see this ZDemo employee master data table itself. Since it's a master data table, there is no foreign key relationship for employee ID, right? Self reference is not possible. What are the other columns contains foreign key relationship? Country, check this. Country contains foreign key relationship, right? T005 is the check table. Now let's try to create some data. I think we generated the table maintenance generator screen for this ZDemo employee master data table. Let's try to maintain some data in it. New entry 107 is the employee ID. Giving some data. Observe the region or country. There is a foreign key relationship, right? For this field. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If I try to enter any random value, looks like there is some value available with that. What it is saying, when I try to enter some random value, entry 3D does not exist in the check table,
Check table.
right? It is rejecting this value because this value is not available in the check table. Okay, because we assign the foreign key relationship. If you do not assign the foreign key relationship, it will accept this value as a country. That is invalid, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the foreign key relationship ensure we are going to enter the consistent data. Okay, it is also provides a F4 help. This F4 help it will provide a list of possible entries. Okay, IN it should accept, right? Save this entry, go back. This is two-step, I think. That's why it displayed a single screen to create the entry and again come back to the overview screen. This is a two-step table maintenance generator. Okay. Now let's try to maintain some data in employee salary. Think we did not create the table maintenance generator screen for this, right? Let's try S11 itself. Now, what are the employee IDs I can enter here in employee salary data? Since the foreign key relationship is created on employee ID field, whatever the employee IDs that are already available in master data. If I try to enter 120, is going to allow what it is saying? Entry 120 does not
Uh,
exist in the master
no,
table, right? Master check table. That's why it is not a valid entry. Okay. This is how the foreign key relationship works to accept only valid values. Okay. Is everyone clear?
yes, sir.
So whatever the employee ID is available in employee master data, only those employee IDs will be allowed wherever you assign the foreign key relationship. Okay. I'll show you one more option in table maintenance generator, which is already generated. Let's talk about this employee ID, employee name, phone number. From where these are coming from? Headers.
Field label.
These are coming from data element field labels. Okay, data element field labels. So that's why we generate the field labels. It acts as a report headings. Okay, for example, if you want to add your own custom field labels, if you want to add your own custom field labels, is it possible in the table maintenance generator? Sorry, not custom field labels, custom headings, not from the data element. I want to bypass the data element field labels and I want to add my own report headings in table maintenance generator screen. right? Instead of these names. So that we can do using table maintenance generator option. You need to go to utilities table maintenance generator, which is already generated. Now go to environment, modification, and maintenance screen. Go to environment, modification, and maintenance screen. So which screen you want to change? First overview screen. If it is single screen, it will display only one. First overview screen. This is the code which is automatically generated. Now go to the layout. Go to the layout option. If you want to customize, right, standard layout, whatever generated by the system. If you want to reduce the width of this field, if you want to reduce the width, right, like this, keep the cursor on the white area and reduce the width. If you want to increase the width, you can increase. Okay, like this. If you want to increase the width, you can increase like this. Okay. For example, I want to change these headings. Instead of displaying headings from the field label, I want to have my own headings. How can you do that? Simply double click on this. Instead of this phone NO, I want to add phone number. Double click on this heading. You can see here, right? Text. Instead of this phone number, right, like that. Double click on this. If you double click, it will open a separate pop-up window. Here also text, update the text, country, right, like that. You can update the headings. Okay, you can increase the width or decrease the width. Okay, you can also increase the total layout width by using this. Okay, you can also increase or decrease your total layout width by using this option. Okay, now save it and close it and activate this. It is inactive, right? Activate this. Now go back to the maintenance screen. Go back to the maintenance screen and save it. And now reopen the maintenance screen SM30. Reopen \n SM30 because we did some changes, right? That those changes should have reflect. Display headings are updated, right? So if you want to customize headings, change the headings, you can use that option, modification option, right? Is everyone clear on this? Is everyone clear on this?
Amar, can you please repeat? So can we change the standard table also?
Yeah, if you generate a table managed generator, right, on the standard table, right? If it is a custom table managed generator, then you can change it. Okay. For example, there is no table managed generator for the standard table, and you generated a custom one. In that case, you can change it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
We do not generate table maintenance generator screens on transactional data tables usually. Okay. We create table maintenance generator screens only on master tables and configuration tables. Okay. Let's discuss about currency and quantity fields. How can we handle currency and quantity fields? Let me quickly create one table, that is employee allowance or employee allowance table. Create the table. Delivery class is A, since it is a application table. Delivery and maintenance allowed. Go to the fields. I'll make it as a client independent data table. What type of table? Sorry, client dependent data table, by adding MA and ET as a primary key field. Okay. This table I am creating as a client dependent table, so that whatever the data you create in this current client is not going to visible in other client. Table can be visible, right? Not the data. Now, for the employee allowance table, I need employee ID as primary key. The data element is already there. What are the other details required? Allowance. Is it going to be a primary key or non-primary key?
Non.
If we add it as a non-primary key, can you maintain multiple allowances for this employee ID, for the same employee ID?
No.
We take it as allowance type. What type of allowance it is, so that we can maintain different allowances for the same employee, right? Allowance type. I'm creating this data element. Save it in the local package. Okay. Let me create domain as well. Do we need a check table for this allowance type table? Sorry, allowance type column. Do we need to maintain a check table for this allowance type column or value table? Yes, right. We should allow only valid allowance types. Yes or no? We should not allow any random value in allowance type. So for that reason, create a master data table for allowance type. Okay. Make it as a primary key and maintain what are the valid allowances allowed. Okay. For that, before using it in the transactional table, I'm going to create one table, allowance master data table. Create it. Delivery class A, delivery and maintenance allowed. Moving forward, I'll be creating all client dependent tables using MA and DT. Okay. Now, what are the columns we need to use in allowance type? What are the columns we need to use in allowance type? Master table. Can you tell me? Allowance type, the corresponding data element. It's going to be a primary key. Do we need any other columns?
No need for it.
No need. Okay, in the master data table, we do not need any other columns. But what about the name? For example, if you provide allowance type as TA, right? TA, short code. If you want to define the name for this, like transportation allowance, how can you define it? For that, we need to add the name also, right? Allowance name. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But if you directly add here like this, how many of you remember language options? Automatic language translation in SAP.
Yes, sir.
So SAP will automatically display corresponding language, right? Based on the language, whatever you log in, it will display the data in corresponding language. If you directly add here in this master table, right? So the text or data, whatever display in the output is not going to be converted, depends on the language. That is why we use a concept called text tables. Very important concept. What do we use?
Text tables.
Text tables. So text tables are for automatic language translation. Okay. What is the use of text table? Text tables
Out,
are for automatic language translation. Okay. So by using text tables, you can automatically convert the data into corresponding language based on the user login, right? Whatever the language option they choose, we need to display data in the corresponding language. If you maintain descriptions or names directly in the master tables, it won't support that automatic language translation. Okay. Let's see how to maintain the text tables. How to maintain the text tables. We have a concept called text tables. So what is the use of text tables?
automatic language translation.
Language translation.
Okay. Automatic language translation depends on the user selection, language selection. So that the data will be displayed in the corresponding language, right? We have already seen that by try login into different language. Okay. So where we assign these text tables? So in master data tables, we define these text tables. Okay. I'll show you a standard example and then we'll create one custom one. What is this T005?
Country table.
Country. Here, what is the value it is maintained? Is it country name or code?
Code.
Country name.
Just code. Okay. So
Yeah.
There are other columns as well. So there are country name columns as well, but these are not going to support automatic language translation. So let's assume this is the country code. Now go back to the table. Can you find this country name, whatever the data you are able to see in the output, right? Can you find those columns here? Country name. No, they are not here, right? Whatever the columns you are able to see here, this one, country name, these are not part of table, but from where these are coming from? These are coming from text table. These are coming from text table. How to find text table assigned for this master data table, countries master data table? Go to text table. Go to text table. So what is the text table for this country master data? T005T. This is the text table assigned to T005. Okay, what are the fields available here? Observe carefully.
Cross.
Spras means language, right? Spras means language key. It is a primary key. And what is the other field available?
Land one.
Country, right? So Spras, that means language is primary key in all text tables. Okay, it is the common primary key in all text tables, and the other primary key, it depends on the data. If it is country master table, we use land one as a primary key. If it is material master data table, we use material ID as a primary key along with spras. But spras is a common primary key in all text tables, and most of the text tables will end with T. Okay, is everyone clear? So what do we maintain in a text table? We maintain language, country or whatever the value it is, customer, material, right? Description of the country, right? Long description, short description, uppercase description, different types of descriptions we maintain in the text table. Okay, so why do we separate descriptions or names into a separate text table? What is the why we separate in SAP? Why we do not maintain text in the master table itself? If you directly maintain descriptions in the master table itself, it won't support automatic language translation. Okay, it won't support automatic language translation based on the user login language. It's not going to display the output in corresponding language. So that is why we use a concept called text tables. Okay, so this text table is assigned to this master data table, right? This is about country. What about the other tables? T001 company code master table. Do we have a text table for this? Let's check this. There is no text table available for T001 company codes. It is directly maintained in the system. Let's take this T0030 or some order types. What is the primary key? AUART. Order type is the primary key. And here we maintain the order type, but what is the name of that order type or description of that order type? That will be maintained in text table. Go to text table. So T003P, This is the text table for order types, order type descriptions. What are the fields available here? SPRAS, language key, AVART as a primary key, both SPRAS and AVART, and the description. Okay, and the description. Is everyone clear?
Sir, how will we come to know whether it is mandatory to add that this text table in master?
Hmm. For example, you are maintaining allowance type, right? So here we just maintain the code, not the complete name, right? Employee allowance like that. We just maintain the code, right? For example, you are maintaining the employee master data, right? So names maybe we display in a single language. I don't know whether we convert names into a different language or not. But if you want to convert that output descriptions into different languages, you need to maintain a text table. Okay, wherever you need to provide a flexibility to convert that output data into multiple languages. Whenever you are displaying the output, you need to add a text table. Okay, let's create one simple example for a text table. So we have seen the standard examples. Let's create our own text table. Maintain the technical settings for this master data table, allowance master data table. 0 for master data. I'll select size category as 0. Save the technical settings and activate. Now I'll maintain some test data here. I'm not creating the maintenance generator screen. TA, travel allowance, save. Sorry, let me create more entries. FA, it is for fuel allowance. Okay. And DA, like driver allowance or some disaster allowance or something is there. Whatever it is. Okay. Now, I've maintained only codes here. But if you want to know what is DA, where you need to check, either you need to add that field here along with the description, right? But if you directly add in the master table, it's not going to support language translation. It won't convert the data into different languages based on the user selection, right? So that for that reason, we are going to create a test table for this. Sorry, text table for this. Let's create a text table.
Sir, in the domain level, we can add that fixed value. No, sir?
If you add a fixed value, it will display as it is. Whatever the fixed values you add, the same fixed values will be displayed. It won't support the language translation. Yes, as you said, we can add fixed values in the domain level. That is correct.
Language translation means it will convert into other any other specific language.
You can add here. You can add here. But that's not going to support language translation, right? It will just display these descriptions, whatever the descriptions available. What is TADA? But these are not going to convert into different languages, right? For example, I want to display this transport allowance in Japanese language. It's not going to convert, right?
Okay.
Whatever the text you added in the domain level, same will be displayed every time, right? Irrespective of the language, right? So that is the reason why we are trying to maintain text in multiple languages. So that depends on the user language selection, it will display that text into corresponding language, right? So I've created the master data table. Let me create a text table for this. I'll create text table like this underscore T. Create it. text table for allowance. Let's make it as a client dependent table by using MANDT as a primary key. You can create a text table even without a MANDT. That's not mandatory, right? Text table is nothing but any other table with the language key. Okay. Now, what are the primary keys required in this allowance text table?
Cross.
That is mandatory for all text tables. And what is the data element? Standard data element is data element name is also same, I think. Yes. Data element name is also same, SPRAS. Okay, you can refer in any existing text tables. Now, what is the other field required? Allowance type. Is it a primary key or non-primary key in text table? It should be a primary key. And what is the other field required? Name or description or text. Okay. Do we need to create it as a primary key? Allowance name. I'll create a data element for this. Allowance name. I don't need to use a domain. I'll just use a built-in type here. Char 40. Maintain the field label. Okay. Activate the text table. Sorry, I have to maintain technical settings, right? Now, before that, it is asking one option. When we add SPRAS as a primary key, okay, it is asking what type of translation you need. What are the options available? Load text. Text and translations are created automatically.
Table is language dependent.
Table is language dependent, but not translation relevant. Translation only possible with specific tools. Translation using standard translation procedure. So by default, we select this. We'll discuss rest of the options after this, after creating the table, right? Select table language dependent, but not translation relevant. Okay. Continue. Data class as a master data table and select the size category. These are common for text table also. Save it, go back and activate the table. Now, once we created the table, how to maintain the data in this text table?
TMG.
We need to create table index generator for text tables also. Okay. No authorization. Provide the function group. I'll select one step. Find the screen number. You can also enter screen number here. Save it. Sorry, create it. Where can you access this table manager generator screen? In SM30. Edit it. Oh, we forgot to do one thing. Can you tell me what is it? I'm deleting the table maintenance generator. Go back to the table. We need to do something here. Can you tell me what is it?
X value range we need to write, sir.
We need to assign foreign key, right? This is the text table. We need to assign foreign key relationship with master data table, right? Since we did not added the value table, it's not proposing. Okay, create proposal. We need to add a foreign key relationship for this, right? For allowance type, so that it should not allow any invalid languages. Okay. What about this pras? For SPRAS also we need to assign foreign key, right? Language master data. It should not allow any invalid languages. Foreign key. Since the value table is already added in the domain level for this SPRAS, it is proposing T002 as a check table. Yes, copy. So I assigned foreign key relationships for both the language and allowance type, so that it will allow only valid language code and allowance type. So why did I delete the table maintenance generator screen? Because once the
Good.
maintenance is generated, if you do any changes, those are not going to be replicated in table maintenance generator screen. That's why I deleted and I'm going to create again. Okay.
Sir, Pras, which column you have added, sir, for foreign?
Field name should be same in the T002 also. SPRAS. Okay. T002 is the check table for this. Okay. It is automatically proposing check table because let me show you the domain. There is a value table already assigned. That's why
Okay.
it is automatically proposing the check table. In our case, we can add allowance type table as a value table in the domain. Okay. Now let's create the table maintenance generator screen for this again. One step. I'll add 2 as a screen number. Now go to SM30. Maintain the data in text table. New entries. Now, what are the allowance master data? Master data we created. TA, transportation allowance, right? Country, you can select from country master data. For example, sorry, language master data. Can you tell me one allowance type we added?
DA.
DA, right? Yeah, DA. And in which language you want to display this DA? EN or E? What is the text you wanted to display? Driver allowance. Save this. Now, is it going to allow any different allowance type other than the master data allowance, master data records? No, right? So,
No.
since we assigned the foreign key relationship, you can maintain text for only available allowance types. You cannot maintain any random value. Okay. Now, it will display in the English language. What about the other languages? If user selects a different language like Japanese, how it should display in different language? Let's use this translation tool. Let's say I want to display a different language in Japanese, right? This is Japanese language, right? I need to maintain the text in Japanese language as well. I think JP is the Japanese language code, DA, driver allowance, and the different language, whatever you want to display the data. Similarly, I want to display when German user logged into the system, I want to display data in German, right? So this is German language. The same value, but D is the German language code. You can check in the foreign key. DA German. This is German language, right? This is how we need to maintain data in the text table for each allowance type in multiple languages. So that whenever the user log in with corresponding language, it will automatically pick the text from text tables. Okay, it will automatically pick text from that corresponding language code. Okay, like that you need to maintain it for every language. It looks like Japanese is not defined here. Let's try to select a different one.
So this data also we have to provide,
Yeah, you
Anand.
have to maintain in the text tables. Okay.
So which tables are we are creating those for those depends on
Yes.
uh, client requirement, right?
Correct. Correct. So there are few options in the print layouts where it will support automatic conversion. For that, we need to follow some standards. We should not
Okay.
provide any random statements. The statement should be clear so that some system will automatically convert it. When we are working on the forms, we can see that. But in the text tables, we need to maintain text in multiple languages. So if you want to display in multiple languages, I think Arabic is maintained in the system, AR. So let's assume it as a Arabic language. Okay. So Japanese is not defined. That's why it is not allowing. Save it. Like that, you need to maintain for all different allowance types. Okay. Now go to the table, allowance master data table. It is still displaying only allowance type. It is not displaying the description like other standard tables. Why? Because we did not assign the text table yet. Did we assign the text table?
No.
We just created the text table. We did not assign it. Let's see how to assign the text table. Again, we use same foreign key relationship concept to assign the text tables as well. Okay, we use same foreign key relationship concept. How to assign foreign key relationship? Similarly, we assign text tables. So text table is created. Now go to master data table. Sorry, foreign key table. Here what will be the foreign key table? Text table is the foreign key table. Now go to the foreign key table. Which one? Allowance type. We need to select this option. Key field of a text table. We did not select the specific option, right? Now we need to select this option. Key field of a text table when you are assigning the foreign key relationship. Or later change it to key field of a text table. Copy it. Now activate. Now go to the master data table and check is it reflected or not. ZDemo allowance, go to text table. Text table is assigned, right? So you need to use foreign key relationship to assign the text table. Only thing you need to do is you need to select this option key field as a text table. When you are assigning the foreign key relationship, select this key field as a text table. Okay, it will add as a text table for this. Now let's check the data in master data table. Display the entries. Ideally, it should display the text table description as well. I can see the text table here, but why it is not combining the data? Need to check. Cardinality 1 to n for each record. For each record in the master data table, how many records we can find in the text table? Multiple, right? For one ID, for one allowance type, we are going to maintain multiple descriptions in the text table. That's why we need to select cardinality as 1 to n. Okay. Anyway, this is how we assign the text table and corresponding to the master data tables. How to find the text table? Open the
Utilities.
master data table, go to text table. It will navigate you to the text table option. So in general, when you want to display the output, right, you have to read name of that code from text tables. Okay, for example, purchase order type, you need to go to corresponding text table to read the name of the purchase order type, right? And we need to use language as a input for the text tables. It is mandatory whenever you are reading the data from text tables. What is mandatory? You have to pass language id, in which language you want to read the data. So when we are working on the select statements, right, SQL queries, we can see how to pass the language as a input to read the data. Okay. Is everyone clear on text tables? For every master data table, not for every master data table, wherever you need to maintain some descriptions, because in the output, we just do not display DA, TA, right? What is DA? What is TA? We need to know the complete name, right? That we maintain in the text tables. Okay? In different languages. Is everyone clear? So that whenever you log in system into a different language, for example, in the login screen, if you provide language as DE, German, so it will display all the text and data in German language. You can observe here. Similarly, when you are displaying the output from those corresponding allowance tables, right, they will be displayed in different language. Depends on your login language. Okay, is everyone clear? Is everyone clear?
What about remaining descriptions?
Yeah, we need to maintain it, right? We can maintain it later. Since I've created only for DA, So we need to maintain description for the rest of the entries as well. Okay.
Means for every field description we need to.
For every key, yes, for every key, we have to maintain the description.
So is this the standard procedure, sir, or is there any
Yeah,
multi?
if you see standard tables, the descriptions are already maintained. It is one-time activity, right? You are not going to do every time. When you are migrating data to SAP, you're going to create all this text into SAP. It's a one-time job, right? So we have to maintain the text manually in the text table by using some maintenance screen or by using some upload programs. So we do that manually. Standard records, whatever already available, like standard order types and all, they are already maintained in the system. Okay, you need to maintain only for the additional records.
But we are working on English here only, right? No? In English.
That depends. Like if your client presence is in different countries, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Then you need to maintain in multiple languages.
Sir, can you recap it once? General over.
Sorry, what is it?
Can you recap it once again? Just like general overview.
Yeah, if you want to allow automatic language translation when you are generating a report, right? So if you want to generate a report by combining all the employee data, including employee details, employee salary, and employee allowances, right? What is the allowance and what is the amount he is taking? If we generate a report, let me show you in this. For example, you are generating a report here. Employee ID, allowance, amount. So I'm generating this report for different employees. So what are the details I'm going to enter here? Employee ID. When you are submitting this report to your manager or someone, are you going to maintain name as DA? They don't know what is DA, right? Or TA.
Yes.
So we need to maintain a proper name in the report output, right? And the corresponding amount. But in the system level, you can maintain in codes, right? But when you are generating a report, you should display proper names. Now, let's say a German user trying to view this report, they cannot understand this, right? Transport allowance in English. So what we need to do? If German user trying to view this report, this value should be automatically converted into German, right? So how that is possible? If we maintain data in multiple languages in the text table, we separate the text table and we maintain descriptions in multiple languages. And we assign this text table to the master data table. So when we are selecting the data, right, we select data based on the language key and display in the output. Okay, if user login using German language, we select data in German language from the table by using language key as a input, right? But to make that selection, we need a text table by maintaining text in multiple languages. Okay.
Okay.
So we need to add currency and quantity fields here. Okay, we need to add currency and quantity fields here. I thought of creating currency and quantity fields and started this. We discussed the text tables. In the next session, we'll be adding amount and corresponding currency key, right? We'll see how to maintain currency and quantity fields. So tomorrow we'll conclude in the sense we'll complete this basic data dictionary concepts and we'll start programming concepts, okay, by using database tables. Okay.